I mean, if anything that Jenny Slade's on, as far as I'm concerned, is just absolute like narwhal gangster. And then
Mona
if you
Lisa
just
Saperstein.
Mona Lisa Saperstein, which is an offshoot of Patty Hearst, I believe, who also was abducted by Charles Manson. That evening. She was the one that didn't have the knife, right?
I'm not. You know what? As into serial killer shit and all that, I don't know as much as I wish I did about the Manson family. I really don't.
I was just talking about Quentin Tarantino movies because it's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it's actually also in that Val Kilmer movie that they did about
Willow.
yes, Willow. But the guy that, or the kid that plays the Hobbit, plays Patty Hearst in that one though, which is a lot different. Elijah Wood has carved out an extraordinary sort of career for himself.
He's got a little niche.
Yeah. Anyway, sis, welcome back. This is Darwin's Family Crest. We started a little hot because both of us have been doing a lot of binge watching a drunk history.
Indeed, we have. I waited till this day in American history to start watching it for some reason, despite multiple suggestors to check it out. There's just too much fucking media to consume, man. There's too much good media to consume,
Yeah.
Right now we're binging Vikings, which has only been out for like 7 years or something, and I'm like, oh my god, this happened. It's like, yeah, that was like 7 years ago. Wait till you see when this happens,
Yeah, I was surprised to see that it got a couple of I guess it's whatever the equivalent of the TV Emmy is. There were three episodes nominated of Drunk History for this year's whatever team. The Tonys are like a show stuff like Broadway and shit.
Yeah.
But whatever.
That's some Lin-Manuel shit.
That's right. Although I will tell you, the Hamilton episode of Drunk History might be one of my favorites.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah. Not just because of his narration, because he does get shit faced on it.
Does he? That's great.
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, 18 minutes into the episode, he drunk dials the guy that played Aaron Burr.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and like 12 minutes in, Questlove calls him, and he's like, "Yo, I'm watching you on Drunk History," and he's like, "I can't believe this is happening!" Like, it's so great. It's just awesome. But the episode with Aubrey Plaza as Cleopatra was not only DFC fodder for album or for episode art, but it also I guess that episode garnered a whatever that American Film Writers Guild TV watching shit award is.
I feel like the competition's probably less. What's the word? I'm drunk historying right now. It's got to be less competitive this year. There's got to be less media being made, right?
Sure, but I mean, you figure these votes were cast probably the end of 2019.
True.
So
back before the world ended.
Yeah, I think Slumdog Millionaire got a couple of nominees. So I'll let you know.
This year, yeah.
Yes, this year, yeah. So.
When the hell did that come out? That's a good joke. But crazy. I feel like that's like 100 years ago that came out.
Yeah, that was COVID in 12, I think. Is that right?
I don't know.
Can we start counting backwards yet? Where it's like, okay, well, so we don't have to start figuring out exactly what year we're in anymore. Like, we can just assume that 320 was just COVID, was just COVID-19. So we don't actually have to.
This is the year of our Lord AC-19, you know.
Mm, yeah. Um, I don't want to um, I don't want to detract from what we do, but I also want to celebrate a return of some sorts. Um, our uh, our dear stepbrother, Problematic Cast, actually returned to its form.
Well, not quite.
Not so much.
We're still trying to get the traction.
Hmm.
He's starting a new position in the job he's at, so we're trying to find. I think it's next week we're
Hmm.
gonna actually take off again. But yeah, it's about time. It's about time we get back to our roots. We start believing women, and we start, just doing our thing again. We just
Well,
get back to a new normal.
well, you've recruited an old new fan in myself because um, between you guys and Gay Cumtown, I have started following Refinery 29. So I want to make sure that um, anytime that I'm perceiving excellence and there's no one around, I just need to look in the mirror
That's
because
true. That's
because
true.
I believe in me.
I believe in me.
I believe in me.
I believe in the big fat bitch inside of me.
I am an internally a beautiful woman inside of this man that's doubting his haircut right now.
I think the haircut looks good. So.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. I'm glad you brought it up, and even though you didn't, um, uh, I had been rocking the Viking look for a little bit, and I realized that damn, like that shows like minus that's like it's like COVID 13 years old. So like I gotta really look at my life at this point, and maybe my dumb Viking body's actually done working, to earn my mead at this
I
point.
I hope so for your sake. I truly do. And that's not a bit. I fucking it would suck to not see you at our mutual place of employment anymore, but fuck. Just if you can do it without it, please, cuz it's a sinking ship, my dude.
Well, my like I really do believe that with this new internal women's haircut that I have, that I'm more poised for glasses of gin for my lunches, as opposed to microwave super sticky noodles
Yeah.
of the Maruchan brand or
Yeah, that's getting old.
I just because there's no amount of potentially non-filtered bottled water that'll loosen up the noodles that are in my back and that are in my shoulders and that are in my rotator cuffs that pop like I don't know, bottles of Cristal apparently, by the way, sorry, not to be topical, but I guess at a gender reveal party that ended up causing, I don't know, something close to like 11 to 15,000 acres of brush fire burning in California. Did you see this shit?
Yeah,
I don't mean to switch, but
no, you're fine. That's what we do. That's not an ideal. I mean, do we know if it's a boy or a girl or some dumb bitch? Because it's got to be some dumb bitch because you burnt down the woods, yo.
I think it's got to be Red Skull from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
from the fucking wherever He-Man's from, I guess at this point.
We're having fucking Galactus, the
Yeah.
destroyer of planets.
Oh my God. Let me ask you something really quick, especially for talking about things that destroy the planet. Um, how how like stupid do we look to other countries? Like just in general. Like if like
I
because
mean, they used to think we were stupid when we kind of had our shit together, dude.
Right. No, I know. But can you imagine how dumb you have to look to not be able to like quarantine a fire?
Yeah.
Like as a nation. Like like never mind what President Pumpkin's doing.
Yeah.
We're not like I'm leaving him out of this conversation just for to avoid duality. Like
I feel like seriously this might be the 400th time I've uttered this movie in this context. So
mhm.
apologies, but uh, we might as well just start recording at Buttfucker's restaurant because this is full on idiocracy anymore, and I just don't. It's not goddamn funny to me anymore. It's upsetting. It's just like the kind of shit that makes shows like this and Problematic Cast very necessary because we gotta call out the stupidity and the problematic bullshit in this world. But it's not getting through. It does not matter what we say or do. There's just no shortage of dumb fucks out there doing dumb fuck shit.
Yeah, I mean, I've been selling treasure maps to actually find the time machine to people outside of the B&L hot dog cart outside the AutoZone down by the Safeway
Yeah.
near my house. So
Yeah.
if any of y'all know where that's at,
That ride
email
sucks.
email us at dfcpod.com, and I swear to God I'll send you a shirt because that's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
No, no. The real talk of it is, and I hate to say it, but I mean, I sort of feel like people that literally may have at some point looked up to us in what used to be the UN and that kind of thing. They probably just assume that, and then the EU and that kind of thing, and then people that have defected, and obviously we've burnt bridges and that kind of thing with allies like North Korea and Russia, that we've been watering plants with Brondo for probably 7 years now, like on paper, the way that
Easy.
we've been operating.
Yeah.
And it's and I because I had a real talk with the young person that's doing remote learning in my house at this point, and I pretty much told him, I was like, I don't remember the last time we were under like pretty logical supervision, you
Yeah.
know, just competent supervision, just because of the dichotomy of certain things. Like there has to be a balance, and if the only reason you care about a balance is because you don't trust the top or the bottom.
Yeah.
So it just gets to be really really funny, where it's like hey, listen, you should learn about history, and he's like, but you don't trust it, so why?
Yeah.
And it's so smart. It's like damn, man, no, that's true, that's
Have
true. I mean,
have we had a competent American president in our lifetime? Because I'm looking back and I just, you
the
know,
I definitely gave the nod to Reagan, just because I feel like the Cold War got straightened out, and then he sort of kind of gave his like okay to Yeltsin and stuff like that, and I'm sorry, to Gorbachev, and then eventually to Yeltsin and that kind of thing for Bush to take over. But the rest of it just seems to be downhill, and just like sort of like problematic, like damage control from Clinton, and then the overcompensation for Bush, and then
and
the
I feel like I want to say Obama,
yeah.
but Obama just kind of seemed like he was on cruise control, especially that second term. He just fucking, yeah, let's just keep doing what we're doing. And it's like, you're not doing anything,
Well, and
Like,
yeah, and like I don't want this to turn into like a leftist podcast or anything like that, but at the
I
same
mean, I
time,
just slammed a Barack Obama. So I don't think I'm about as nonpartisan as we get. I
yeah.
mean, it's upsetting to me that people think there's varying vast differences between it. It's all fucking, what we really need to do is just follow Tom Morello's opinion from ages ago and just overthrow the fucking government.
Got,
Because
or fuck it. You know what? Like, it's not even that far. That's not that far away. Let's go back to like 2012 or 2013. I just rewatched The Dark Knight Rises. We need to fucking nominate Bane, dude.
Yeah.
Because like Bane would have been a Bernie guy with like enough grit to like actually recruit the conservatives. Because like at that point, like if he was, first off, like if you're fucking the Steelers over, you're probably going to get 60% of the conservative vote anyways. I mean, that's just real talk.
I've probably said this on the pod, but did I tell you our friend Nikki is in the stands at Heinz Field during that?
No, you did not tell me that. That's fucking awesome.
She said it was a miserable day, and obviously they didn't dig a chasm in there, so it was all CGI effects after, and they would just be told to scream and then wait, and then scream and then wait. And she said it was like the most tedious fucking day ever, but she can't find herself even in the Blu-ray copy, but she said, yeah, I'm definitely there. So wow. That's pretty fucking cool.
That's awesome. I just like that shit just like froze me in my tracks. Like,
that's the only person I know that has ever said something like that, and it's Nikki. So it's like, that's fucking great, girl. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's fucking that's so kick ass, dude. I mean, it's so funny because like there were definitely shots of like that were taken in the movie that like from where I sat, where I actually watched the Rolling Rock Town Fair the year that it was at Heinz Field.
Yeah.
Bringing us back to what we do here.
Muzak.
The Muzak. Yeah. I was there the year that it was a burner of a year, 311 and Blink 182 with a pretty tapped out Tom DeLonge, and
I'm still fucked with that. At this point, I'm so deficient in concerts, I would fuck with that hard.
Yeah, it's so shitty because like like when I don't know if you know this band, but this is a local band that does everything all the time, always and forever. If the Clarks are going on at 6:30, it was a pretty weak show, and the Clarks went on at like 6:30, and like I again, there's nothing wrong with the Clarks, but they don't belong. They don't belong at the Rolling Rock Town Fair on a normal year. But I mean, again.
The subline of that one was, everyone else is busy, please still come.
I will say though, the acoustics at Heinz Field are actually pretty decent.
Really?
In terms of seeing a show there. I don't know about what, I've never watched a game there. But the acoustics at the like from the and by the way, I don't know if I doubt I've ever told you this, and if I haven't told you this, I certainly haven't said this on the pod. But the only reason that we all ended up getting down onto field level, and the only reason we got down onto field level is because there was some drunk asshole that was in our section that actually stormed one of the fucking security guards, knocked him over, and absolutely fucking shit spilled a whole fucking roll of field passes. Like, and I'm talking like this, like he had a roll of these things that look like those fucking 50-50 auction tickets that you go to a rifle raffle.
Exactly what I was visualizing.
And by the way, if you can say rifle raffle 420 times, email us at DFCpod.com and I will gladly send you a fucking shirt.
Nick Hexum from 311 will send you some 420 swag kush if you can do that.
That's right. Know that we will always be down to send shirts for that shit.
Motherfucker, I can't believe I pulled that name out of my head. Nick Hexum. What was the other guy's name? Fuck. Nick was the one that sang more, and the other guy fucking rapped. I loved the Blue album. It hit me at the right time. And speaking of, here's a fucking, since we're on After Dark, DFC, just jump around. I just got the remaster of Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and they added to the soundtrack, but they retained all the original fucking soundtrack on it, and it's beautiful, man. It's just so fucking beautiful. I mean, so you got Goldfinger on there with like new YouTube rappers and shit, and it's like, wow. So you'll be like jumping from Dead Kennedy's police truck, and then it'll jump into this token guy that I'd never heard of. That it's like, wow, this guy's obviously trying to crib Eminem, but he's pretty fucking good.
Wow, dude. I mean, is that the combo game that's out right now? The 1 and 2 that's put
Yeah.
together?
Yeah, I'm psyched. I only spent $40, and it definitely, because if you remember a couple years ago, I think they put out the 5th iteration of it, and it just tanked. Okay, so they obviously went back to the drawing board, and they have Tony Hawk voiceover doing the tutorials and shit. They definitely gave this some love, because if they would have fucked this up, the franchise would be trashed. But
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's so good. It brings back all the old nostalgia, but with a next gen visual. So I give it a please buy if you're into that, because it's just so fucking cool.
Yeah, no, I hate to like preface something else that we've already done, but I mean, like I don't want to go back to like, like Chris Farley Pro Skater that we did earlier.
Matt Foley.
Yeah, and Matt Foley, like which you had to unlock, by the way. He was after Spider-Man.
Apparently Jack Black is in this one. I gotta find him.
I no, the interesting thing about it is, I think what would bring me back into this, especially to probe, and maybe I guess I would need further motivation at this point, because if I'm not incorrect here at this point, I'm pretty sure the PS5 looks like a fucking router, and the new Xbox looks like basically it looks like a
mini fridge.
Yeah, it looks like a mini fridge, but it also looks like it looks like one of those like woofers, like turned like stood up.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, that's neat, but like I mean, what if I have Comcast and I keep my beer upstairs?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what am I doing with my life? Like, am I continuing to just, be in and out the way that I have been? But what would set me off on this, and I need backfill on you from this, is, do they have whenever you're grinding, do you have to maintain your balance?
Oh yeah.
Because you do. There's a balance gauge. Okay. Yeah. So you can't just like continue to nollie and ollie through things and just rock manuals and like do like a 7-hour trick.
How did we do that back then? Was it a cheat code or what? That
you
could get rid of the balance?
No, like in THPS2, there was no balance. They didn't bring it into the third one. Because the third one was actually for PS2, and I didn't go beyond the first PlayStation.
Yeah.
So like, it was, they wanted to show like, okay, well, we have this ultra like analog calibration, so we're gonna show you, and it's like at the same time they were also kind of like in this pissing contest with like. With John Madden Football, so they were like, okay, well, we're gonna add a hit stick for our analog control. So like, whatever Acclaim/Midway was like in this like dick size contest with like EA Sports and John Madden, and apparently I guess Outback Steakhouse, who was sponsoring his van. So
the goal of the game is to throw the football down the field. All right, John. Thank you so much.
I mean, they should just both put honey butter on their penises and just play dick chicken and see who wins at that point.
Oh, John Madden still alive, or is he dead?
Yes, absolutely.
He's got to be old as God by now, right?
Yeah, I think he's actually somehow, God love her, I think he's like 6 years younger than my grandmother, because I think my grandmother is 82 and I think John Madden is 76.
Is that it? He doesn't still do commentary though, right?
Oh no, he's I believe he's somewhere in
he's relegated to a psych ward somewhere by now.
Yeah. Well, he's drawing up like pill patterns for the nursing home, or the assisted living facility that he's in. Zero positive COVID tests. Boom.
Oh.
I don't know if I hit that one on the blue ball there, but
I love it.
and
Did he fall
meanwhile,
off the planet or just go recluse or did he turn
yeah.
into John Tesh or what happened?
Well, no, they buried one another. Like, I mean, how like if your biggest I'm not. I mean, okay. So I can only name maybe four tracks that uh have like gained any ground from being off of a soundtrack.
Hmm.
Um, and if you're,
My
again,
heart will go on, baby.
I was thinking that too. I was thinking that too. I was also thinking
Iris from the Goo Goo Dolls.
well, that's good. Damn. Okay, so five. All right, fine, five. I was gonna go with from Chad Kroeger and was it Josie Wales
Mm,
the first Spider-Man soundtrack.
Hero. Yeah, that was a banger of a track,
That was
and
a tough
nothing
track, yeah.
nothing about it screams like it should have been on paper, but it's like, no, that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, the other couple that I had just firing off is Big Empty by Stone Temple Pilots from the Crow soundtrack.
Bro. Yeah.
And I mean I have to because there's certain shit I gotta skip. I gotta skip the Spawn soundtrack because that entire soundtrack deserves it. I mean it would have had its own show had we not ran into copyright infringement from
Heavy metal.
HMPL. But I would say from like I mean the next one up is the Kashmir cover from the '98 Godzilla movie
Oh,
with
fuck. How goddamn. I fucking hated Puff Daddy, with the exception of two tracks, and that would be Come With Me from Godzilla '98 or whenever the fuck it came out,
mhm.
and goddamn the rock remix that Dave Grohl lent, I think, guitar and drums to for All About the Benjamins. The
Yes,
one they did the video
yes,
for. Oh my
yeah,
god. Fuck.
yeah.
Like that was some good Puff Daddy shit. But no, Come With Me. I fucking bought that album just for that. I don't remember for the life of me another track on that, but that fucking thing went hard, and most of it was just him going, yeah.
Oh yeah. Believe me, Jimmy Page earned quite a fucking payday from just yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what is that in Wingdings? Because I
Turn my
apparently
headphones off.
apparently, and by the way, I should tell you that we're not releasing this on Crooklyn 99, but we are recording on Crooklyn 99,
Hell yeah.
which is obviously one of my favorite dates, and one of my favorite Eddie Murphy movies. 9/9 is the day before my wife's what I think she told me it was her 9th anniversary of her the celebration of her mid to late 20s.
Copy
Um,
that. Understandable.
yeah. So I have no idea how old the human is that I'm married to, um, which is fair.
But that adds the mystique. That
Oh,
adds
absolutely.
that fucking panache, that flair you need to keep a marriage nice and spicy.
Spicy. Uh,
Spicy.
speaking of spicy and mystique, and I guess other people in capes that you won't be seeing sucks about Robert Pat, right? Like getting
He's
the
not
old
dead, is he? Please don't tell me he's dead.
he's not dead, but he's not Batman right now, and that
We
Batman trailer looks fucking gangster.
fuck, bro. Yeah, we haven't had a chance to touch on that. A mutual manager, and that's all I'll say. I said, "Hey, did you see the trailer for the movie The Batman coming out?" And he's like, "Oh, full disclosure, I don't watch any superhero movies." It's like, okay, we're done here. I don't want to talk
You can't
because,
trust that human at that point.
well, I mean, whatever. If that's not your thing, you could still fucking watch the trailer, But the trailer looks sick. It looks like I've been waiting since '95's Batman Forever, which at the time I thought was amazing. but in retrospect, Schumacher and Jim Carrey's iteration of the Riddler is just offensive to me. But it's bad, dude. It's Jim Carrey as the Riddler, and it's just not fuck. I've been waiting for a more Jigsaw-esque Riddler, which is how I always visualized him in my head. I mean, if honestly, despite the camp and all that shit, besides, I can't get through Gotham, but their version of Enigma is pretty good. But Frank Gorshin in the 60s Adam West version of Batman is my favorite Riddler because he was just kind of fucking insane and he had the look and he was just really good.
Okay, but I mean, isn't it fair to say that that's kind of what they have done with like Jokers in the past? So like,
yeah.
like if they
still haven't watched Suicide Squad because I can't stand the thought of what they did to my baby boy.
Yeah, I get it. Look, I get it. It's at the same time though, it's like, like, so I'm actually, so of that era of Batman's.
Which era? Schumacher? Or are we talking the Adam West?
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
So
I'm
yeah,
bouncing all over the place.
So the Schumacher era, like where you're given Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face and like
Two-Face, yeah.
Yeah, and then you have Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, which like he might as well have been a fucking freeze pop as far as I'm concerned, because that dude didn't do anything for that movie, period.
No, like the only Uma. They had fucking everything there, but it was awful.
Yeah, it's like I kind of feel like he was kind of looking at it like, okay, well, we're just gonna, like we're going to turn this into Independence Day, and it's just going to be like, all right, well, the cast will speak for itself. It's just that heavy and laden down. But I mean, we haven't, like, we've talked about what you're looking forward to, and mind you, I will actually, I mean, I would say maybe aside from the unitard for the Carey Riddler, yeah. I like the spirit of it because
he's the best character of those two movies without a doubt.
And like
they could have fixed it. They could have fucking fixed it if stupid ass Schumacher just would have put nipples on the Batgirl suit. That's all we wanted. That's all we fucking wanted. Am I right? Am I wrong? I mean, we're talking very recently post Clueless Alicia Silverstone, and it's like she's the it girl. It's like, just put the bat nipples on the fucking Batgirl costume. That's all we want. But he couldn't even do that.
What I don't understand is that we have 500 follows from IG fit Russian like Russian Instagram followers on Darwin's Family Crest. Yeah. And yet they could incorporate a 6-pack and a pair of nipples. Yeah. And yet somehow Joel Schumacher can't put them on Alicia Silverstone because
that's what I'm saying.
But is it because Paul Rudd protested that he wasn't in the movie? Like, what are we talking about here at this point? Like,
ooh, you know what? From that era especially, he would have been better than Clooney. He would have. He was probably too young to play Bruce back then.
Yeah. You need a jaw. You need a jaw for that. And
that's true.
Yeah, didn't he get punched in Clueless by like one of Donald Faison's friends or something like that? I'd have hit him.
Probably.
I'd have hit him.
Brittany Murphy, baby girl, was in that one though, looking like a snack.
Damn, I'm not gonna whistle into this blue ball here, but I mean, you know where I'm at with that.
We miss you, baby girl.
You know what? I think we're burying the lead here, though. Like,
always,
it's the return of the Penguin, again, like maybe not the return of the Irishman, who I'm pretty sure there are still people that I know that are still trying to get through that movie. Yeah. Colin Farrell comes back on that, and he reminds you that I guess the Penguin's still up and around, and probably
casting.
Yeah, knocking on doors like the IRA did back in the fucking early 90s and shit. Like, hey, are you back in the Penguin right now? Let me ask you something. Let me ask you.
I know I know you're trying to riff and make bits, but bro, I am so into that fucking casting because I feel like they're going serious, like a Frank Miller graphic novel with this, and I'm so fucking psyched for it. And the only hate I'm hearing about is Robert Pattinson with makeup on and shit. It's like every Bruce Wayne wore blackout face for under his cowl, and
Careful.
they're like bitching about that. It's like, fuck you. You're just mad that Cedric Diggory died and he was fucking what's his nuts? Edward Cullen. I think he's gonna do awesome if he survives this COVID-19 nonsense. Have you heard of this stuff? It's not
Uh,
good.
I just realized that we got canceled by Refinery 29 for saying Edward Diggory. I
Edward Diggory. It was way too close to a pre-existing. Apparently, have you heard this one? It's pretty close to a pre-existing bad word.
um I I'm not I guess I'm not proud enough right now of my current stance with this glass of gin that I'm supporting. Too much sweat on the brow
More
from
like too
getting
much
close.
fucking swag.
Yeah, getting close to the cancel though. I don't want to get there.
They
What I
can't
w-
cancel us. This is Rebel fucking pirate radio.
Oh goodness. You know what I will say though about the new movie is
Mhm.
I don't I at this point they have my money and they
Oh,
have my
yeah.
household money at this
Yeah.
point. Like if this is because if we're gonna stay on the whole Batman sort of scheme of things,
Yeah.
I was really bummed out that like Christopher Nolan didn't double down on the idea of releasing to streaming video for Tenet
Yeah.
because I am an uber fan of Nolan and just what he does. I re watch all of his movies. I
Yeah.
mean, all the way back to fucking Memento.
I was gonna say
Like,
Memento was first, right?
yeah, it was first, and then Insomnia, and then we kind of started building from there.
Did
Um,
he do The Machinist? Or
yes,
no? He
yes,
did?
dude,
Okay.
yeah, you did.
His
Yeah,
fucking body of work is retarded.
it's
And I mean that in the best way you can be retarded.
absolutely, yeah. No,
Like my
just
best friend retarded,
right.
like you're
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
fucking retard.
yeah.
Yeah, but no, like everything. I'd be hard pressed to pick a bad one from Christopher or his brother, and it's just like, good Lord Almighty. Interstellar probably a low point
Close. That would,
personally,
yeah.
but I mean, I still dug it. And the time distillation story and all that, it was just like, this is terribly sad, and like, but it was probably the lowest point for me for his. Yeah, I'm a Chris Nolan fan.
That's one thing that I'm not gonna actually like. I'm not even gonna piss on Interstellar because I haven't seen the movie straight through. But
Yeah.
I will tell you, uh, from my place of employment, what I was doing at the time, I actually had to like distribute that movie as a new release when it came out to DVD. And I mean, I sent cases and cases and cases of that movie to individual stores.
Yeah.
And like it's interesting because I work. I mean, at that time I worked at a prod function sort of thing at that point, and I actually on that night I had exceeded prod higher than I had ever exceeded prod at any other thing that I had ever done in my life. Like
Yeah.
I have never made like 310%
I was gonna
of
say,
dinners.
having done exactly what you're talking about, those nights were very few and far between, and it had to be a scorcher of a title coming out
Hmm.
for you to do that. And
Yeah.
I think I had one or two nights like that the whole time I was over there, and it was just like something ridiculous. And I can't even think right now what it would be, but like something like Trolls World Tour in the normal world or something. It's like, oh, look, it's the new DreamWorks. It's the Return to Shrek with the Chris Farley cut or something. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I think in like just under 3 hours I dispersed 18,500 copies of
God
that
damn.
particular just to the particular purveyor of said DVD and Blu-ray at that point. So
Yeah.
I
All you
wasn't even
doing was
bribing anyone.
closing fucking boxes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So on the first end, I used to poach things like that, freight like that, but didn't do it that time.
Didn't have to.
Didn't have to. We were since we're okay. So we talked about him a little bit earlier, and I don't necessarily want to. We don't. I mean, because we're good on time and that kind of thing. We were talking about maybe the idea of being all panicked about doing a panic note and that kind of thing. But I think we're pretty square on a full ep here. So.
Yeah.
I got this idea, and it was from a couple of different like Snapchat filters that are going on right now, and I realized that like there are different characters that I feel like I could play pretty good right now.
Okay.
Just based on these Snapchat filters, and I feel like because of Refinery 29, I actually know how to play these types of roles. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So I have this idea where I'm gonna take 3 to 4 non-cisgender humans out into like the forest or out into like a swamp or something like that. Not like sort of a non-distinct area.
Okay.
And you don't see me, okay? You only see me as this guy having these narc fucking like what are they called? Like the big like reflective sunglasses and the big beard,
Kind of
like
like the aviator look.
yeah, the aviator glasses and that kind of thing. And like I'm gonna go by the name non-Bear Grylls.
Okay.
Okay, and the episode, or I'm sorry, the show is actually gonna be called What Are You? And
Okay.
it doesn't have anything to do with declaring, anything about yourself, all right? But you walk around nature and you pick something up, and you're scared because you're naked walking around and whatnot, except I've got the aviators and the filter on.
Uh-huh.
And like, you pick something up and all of a sudden it starts to move and you're like, well, it it didn't know what you were till you picked it up either. So
At what point in the show do you have to proclaim your pronouns into the woods and hope for a call and answer?
well, there's a campfire,
Okay.
and it's
At the end of every episode.
it's as Dark Falls, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular at that point or anything we picked up. All right. But we have a real bearing down at that point. All right. Me and the filter and the aviators naked, looking at the non-declaratives, and maybe they're holding sticks, maybe they're holding snakes. I don't know. I'm not asking any questions right now at that point. But what I'm asking is, where do we go from here? Are you gonna keep being that stiff? Are you gonna keep being that spady? Are you gonna keep being that sort of looking snake? Or are you gonna be a stick? What are you gonna be? How are we getting out of here?
This is some serious what the fuck metaphysics shit here, because we have the opportunity to make this like a non-cis normative important show, or we could make this the next fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson project. We could have him voiceovering on this, and we could have the return to soundtrack work of Josie Scott and Chad Kroeger from Nickelback for the show Hero 2, and that's what it'll be called.
And
Hero 2.
and and I didn't want to bring this up, but it had to be a naked Neil deGrasse Tyson that brought up a Bowflex in the corner of the woods. And as lightning struck,
Oh shit.
we found reason at that point. So, non-binary Grillis, what are you? Is going to be somewhere at some point. I don't know if it's going to be on YouTube.
Oh my god. Yeah. This sounds like a perfect opportunity to start a Patreon and just the two of us retards out in the fucking woods with a camera recording video for our pilot, and it'll be a Patreon exclusive when we launch that.
Yeah, I even thought of like them bringing like because they're gonna have to because this is the Batman, like Pattinson is starting the Batman now.
Yeah.
So now like is there going to be I mean after the debacle between Tom Holland and Sony and the whole Marvel sort of thing, like I guess like everyone's gonna have to double down on DC at this point. So maybe we need a non-binary. I mean,
I'm down. I like it. I like it a lot.
like,
What would his mask look like?
well, I mean, I would have to imagine that um, they would like the breathing tubes in would have to look like dicks, but like the ultimate culmination has got to be some like non-normative
Some H or what's his name? Geiger shit.
yes, I'm gonna have to, but unfortunately I'm probably going to either have to reach out to Ashley Graham or someone else that can give me a hand. Actually, you know what? This is a good time to probably get a touch base with Chrissy Teigen too at this point.
Yes.
Because I mean,
we need some big bitches on this one.
Who could use well, if we're gonna go that route, I think Lena Dunham has got a serious blue, yellow, and red there, maybe with the white and the black on the outside. Girls,
bitch, you looking crazy.
I guess the last thing that I thought about was like in this whole thing is because we talked about some really silly stuff out here tonight, but it's been great touching base.
Oh, for sure.
The one thing that I want to make sure, I don't care where you stand where you stand right now, because I started this not knowing where I was going with this, but I know where I'm going with it now. What I'm going to say is I just make sure that whether you live in the Northeast, the Southwest, the Midwest, or the Great Plains, make sure you know at this point what you're going to need in order to be a registered voter. Just because like the opportunity in some areas are absolutely being like the criteria is being like rigorously tested. I would imagine after people have heard Trump say, listen, you should just vote multiple times for me. There's going to be people that follow this. So I don't want to see anyone end up catching a charge or not knowing where to send their ballots or not knowing what it actually takes to be a registered voter at that point. It's really not that far away. As a parent of someone who is doing remote learning, I know that there's only 10 and a half weeks left of his semester, which ends on 11/11, which means that's
good number.
Yeah, it's a great number. It's a full week and 2 days ahead of when you would need to have. Well, you should at least be thinking about voting, and because I don't even know actually what Super Tuesday is, and but you should be actually checking your situation at that point, finding out when, if you're mailing in your ballots, what you're doing, when how long when polls are going to be open. I know in my area there's like I can walk 150 feet and probably get to a sign with a pole that says, "Hey, listen, um, you know what's right, boy."
I think I can officially on the pod officially endorse my write-in candidate come election day, who is the Ugandan giant Kamala, because
Mm.
I'm not even entirely sure he's still alive, but I think he probably diabetically lost his legs, I think was the last thing I knew. He might be dead.
Oh,
Big
sir, he
Van
passed
Vader's
away.
dead, right?
Yeah, yeah. Vader died in 2018.
God. We're gonna
Um,
die someday, man.
yeah, man. Kamala actually died at the beginning of August.
Son of a bitch. Was it from COVID-19?
Um, that's how it was written.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
He
that's
he
pretty
ac-
much the narrative regardless, but
he passed away in I believe it was a pontoon boating accident. So like there but there was an ambulance that was like hogging up the road that had COVID people in it. So it technically went down as a COVID related death. So
real talk, was that the most racist character or was it Papa Shango? Because, god damn. You want to
I
talk about a pop quiz, which was more racist, the Ugandan giant, Kamala, or Papa Shango?
well, since we're talking about the presidency, can I have a write-in candidate?
Sure.
I would probably go with the junkyard dog, and just
Oh.
the fact that they actually made him a large
Mm.
black man, that they didn't bother to have him like shave his head, even though he was
Mm.
a balding large black man. And mind you, he was somehow like feuding. His main feud was somehow with an absolutely more like bigger stereotype miss in Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Oh, fuck. God, what a problematic era for that. How about
Yeah.
Coco Beware? He was pretty bad as well.
Wow, yeah. I actually,
I'd be
I'm
hard pressed from that era to think of a black man that was in the business that Vince wasn't like making look like a goddamn cartoon.
yeah. I mean, I almost think that maybe a bigger black eye than on Derek Chauvin's wife was was the Bushwhackers.
Oh,
Right,
oh, yeah, that's ugly. That's not
which
good. It's like this is what Australia looks like, folks.
exactly, yeah, yeah, because it's like, all right, so yeah, 90% of Australia is inhabitable, but these white guys really embody it, and they're they look like they're from the inner city of nowhere, like
Retardville.
literally, yeah, yes, like literally.
Like we lick heads. How about Tatanka? That was pretty bad.
Yeah, and then dude, I buried Tatanka so deep in there because I keep thinking that like Tatanka, again, another Mandela effect situation here, and this is really really problematic as well. I keep mixing Tatanka and Chief Thunder from Killer Instinct up right now, and
I
like
like it. I like
it,
it.
and I keep wondering why like when I watch the old Tatanka like matches and stuff like that he doesn't just do an ultra combo and that kind of thing, and it's because
I
he's
think I
not real.
I think I thought of one, and this guy might be problematic because I feel like he's been stricken from the history, a la Chris Benoit. Ahmed Johnson. Did he
Oh,
kill his wife or something? Because it feels like he's been stricken from history.
I you know I
He
I'm
was
I'm
just a
s-
big black dude that could kick fucking ass. He was a fan favorite and everything. Everybody loved him, but I feel like I haven't heard that name in 25 years.
I'm gonna have to absolutely default to you on this, and like it's funny because I'm handing off to nothing, but because I thought that I drafted Ahmed Johnson on Monday night in my fantasy draft. So he may like I mean he could be
You're
on the waiver wire here in a little bit. So again, if you if you want to claim him, yahoo.com/fantasy football, I again place your claim. You'll be nice and high on the waiver wire. No, I
Oh,
actually I don't know him. Just like I I know that Brian Pillman passed away, but like, and he died of steroid use and stuff like that. But to the life of me, I don't know. Like, I think he might have been like an intercontinental champion for like a biscuit, a ham biscuit,
Yeah.
but that's about it. Like,
Yeah.
because I keep thinking that he was like sort of that pre like Raven Flock era kind of guy before Raven was doing the Flock shit at on TNA on the
When
NWA
Raven went by
TNA.
Johnny Polo.
Yeah.
That was like the era I was like, I cannot believe I continued watching it, because that's about the era I like cut my teeth with. And then the real superstars like fucking shone through big time, like HBK and Bret Hart and shit like that. It's like, yeah, you can tell who Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
The ones that still have a name in the business. I don't think Scott's doing anything anymore, but you know what I mean. Like Scott Hall, people still know who the fuck Scott Hall is. Big Daddy Cool Diesel, fucking Kevin Nash and shit. It was like, those were the ones that really broke through, and everything else was kind of like a caricature. And how did we fucking devolve into old school WWF again? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What is it about you that I start talking about this dumb shit every time?
Well, because my new haircut, I actually look a lot like Coolio, so like I feel like you just take fantastic voyages into the past.
Oh shit.
I will say that when you're talking about those times, and like, because you're talking about a lot of flowing hair, a lot of real pencil thin fucking like beards and stuff like that.
Ugh.
That's a bad era for the WWE, and like, because that's post Attitude, and like there's not a lot of good going on there.
I think it was pre-Attitude, because I'm thinking like the Luna Vachon days. It's like, this is our Divas division.
I'm sorry, you're so I see, because I'm thinking like that hot period for me was around like 2002 2003, where I was like, you know what, this is not getting any good. It's not going to get any better.
Nope.
And like, so like that's when I ended up starting, because I was still doing amateur outdoor sports entertainment.
That's when you became a director of Thugonomics.
I did. You know what? I was a fan of D'Lo Brown.
Oh man, he was a good one. He actually truthfully was. But I feel like Nation of Domination in itself was a racist trope. But they all definitely had their own careers.
Well, never mind that. Like, I mean,
you had Ron Simmons and The Rock and Charles Wright and D'Lo Brown and Owen Hart for some reason. So. Do you remember that?
Of course. Oh my God! Look, I'm sorry. My God, we have crossed over here at this point, man. We're barreling out of control at this point. I've got so many points to make. This is ridiculous. I should let you know though, the first time that I saw AJ Styles wrestle, it was back in 2002 on NWA TNA. He was a tag team member of D'Lo Brown. I didn't stutter there. He was a tag team member of D'Lo Brown on NWA TNA, and then Jeff Jarrett and full on fucking kilt and leather jacket Raven was the main event of that particular. Yeah, and they were weekly pay-per-views on TNA, and like I was an active participant in those particular PPVs at that point. Yeah. What I will say though is, continuing along those lines, is how long did Ron Simmons actually operate under the name Farouk?
Too goddamn long.
Yeah, probably way too long. And not to mention that like I mean, it would have took me about a week as a black man to actually like bitch about that unitard they made him wear with the
fucking in the hat. What the fuck are we doing here, guys?
Yeah. Like, I mean, not to mention, we are the nation of domination. Like, literally, like, did the Germans write that in 44? Like, are you serious with that shit? Like, it's unbelievable. Like how, and again, we wonder, we're like, oh, holy shit. Like, where did this, why can't we get Black Lives to matter? Like, oh, fuck, I don't know, dude, because we've been
Probably Vince
chanting,
McMahon.
and we've been, yeah, again, we've, yeah, dude, like again, blame anything with a W in it, and that's
I
a good start.
honest to God, and this will be, we'll probably wrap it up after this, but I touched on it on an episode of Problematic Cast that our buddy Kyle was on. I truly believe, and this is all seriousness, that we're at this interesting time that we still have the most racist dinosaurs out there that are still teaching our kids racism and stuff. And it's going to take people like you, it's going to take people like me and my brother and stuff to unlearn the fucking past. And unfortunately, we're still going to see this trash in our generation. But as soon as the dinosaurs start dying off at this point, it's going to start getting better. You just need to have intelligent people out there with intelligent conversations that are willing to change. Because why are we still having this conversation now, you know?
Yeah, I saw something a few hours ago that says that the Department of Homeland Security still considers white supremacists to be the greatest threat to Homeland Security and to this greater nation.
It's probably God's honest truth, you know?
I mean, because it can't be at this point. Like, it doesn't matter if a Democratic House or like a Republican Senate releases this out. Like, this is the common behavior right now, that like this hate and it almost, I don't want it to be inevitable, but like there's a racial war brewing that if we can't get some of this shit to just be quashed, that it's going to get there. And like we need to be.
It doesn't help that our motherfucking president is inciting it with every goddamn word he says. I mean, inflammatory comments against white people, against black people, against veterans, against wounded veterans, against, it doesn't matter. He's just literally king troll at this point, and half of our fucking population thinks he's the greatest thing ever.
I've unfollowed so many people that have just like absolutely bared their bones as being just low key racist. And like at this point, like I mean, I not even as a podcaster, but as a human being, I'm just going to start refollowing and just retagging people that have just been proven to be racist at this point. Like that have documented sort of like actions, you know, on like sort of on their dockets in a way where like if you just trace the lineage, and like anybody can at this point, because everyone values their opinion, especially about this race shit. And it's like if you start pumping a lot of this stuff in here, like the whole thing about, like, it's so funny, like the whole thing with The Rock getting COVID and recovering and stuff like that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like that whole thing, like it's so funny because like I want to see how the right handles it, because the right either has to say, oh shit, well, you know, if The Rock got it and all of his fucking rock calves got it, then it's gotta be real. We gotta start wearing our mask and stuff like that.
No, but they don't. They double down and say he's part of the Mossad, or he's part of the narrative. He's been switched to the left. I mean, I'm pretty sure Dwayne Johnson has come out as he's a Republican leaning celebrity, and then you got the right-wing fucking morons acting like he's part of some goddamn conspiracy to push this narrative. There's people, we personally know people that I could tell you off mic that have actually lost grandparents, have lost friends to this shit, and there's people that still are saying it's fake. And I'm sorry, Dwayne Johnson isn't faking COVID. You're stupider than fuck, and we should stop. We should just stop fucking suffering stupidity, period.
Absolutely. Maybe you should doubt that wrestling was ever real and that kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
But at the same time, hey, listen, Owen Hart did die of a broken neck. Okay. So like, hey, sometimes things that you actually do believe in, sometimes shit happens too.
Yep.
And it'll fuck with your perception. And this
Yeah.
shit really should fuck with your perception. You should understand that all you motherfuckers that were listening to Rage Against the Machine in the 90s and now are Trump supporters are walking contradictions.
You're the
And
goddamn machine.
and you have no right. You have no right to either stance at that point if you believe in one or the other.
Yeah.
So again, like I said, you got to have clean hands in this world right now.
Right.
And so few do. And again, we need more. We need more people that are in the right mind frame and that are moving forward instead of staying stagnant or being satisfied. Because again, we don't suffer stupidity on this podcast, and we're not going to start fucking now, especially this close.
Amen. Nope.
We're too close to making change to start it now. So again, this feels like a QED moment. So I really do hope that you guys enjoyed our return to the airwaves. Whatever. Damn, what the fuck does that mean? Or the streaming services.
The fucking everything. It felt easier than we've been building it up in our head. So this is going to become a normal thing, because guess what? You're stuck with us now, bitches. We're not going to suffer stupidity, so we'll be here.
Rock and roll, boys and girls.
We'll see you next time, and next time will be sooner rather than later. Later.